Who has a cousin who has a neighbor who could do it.
Let's get it, family. I'm ready for you guys on this call. I need everybody to go ahead and drop what cities they're tuning in from real quick, just so I know who I'm working with. I'm going ahead and I'm dropping this link everywhere. I know it was a little bit of a last minute call. You know, definitely excited to see who's up late with me tonight. I'm about to go ahead and send this out to the Discord as well. Yeah, I see you on here, Lucy. I'm trying to get everybody on here. I didn't even announce that I was doing a call until earlier. So I see it's going to take some time. I see my guy Falaz on here. Shout out to you. You know, I'm not in the business of forcing anybody. If you guys are active with me, you guys are on this call, consider yourself lucky too, right? Got my guy Anthony in the building. Yo, how you feeling today, man? I don't know if you see everybody. Go ahead and drop your cities in the chat if you're on here. I see Lucy's in the building. Falah, Pedro. Say what's up, Anthony. I sent you the link to the YouTube, bro, so you can see the chat. Like, I'll say keep the chat rolling on your phone, and you know, on your computer, just focus on the stream. Or if you have another phone, like, you can use that one too. Or just have another tab open. I have like 3 tabs open right now. Anthony is pretty big on YouTube, guys. For you guys that don't know, a lot of you guys may know him already. You guys may have already seen his videos in the trading scene. You know, so when it comes down to it, he may be a familiar face, but if he's not, you know, I'm going to introduce him on this call to you guys here in the Prophet Society community. And you know, he's also in the mix in the YouTube scene. So for him to be on this live stream, you know, I want you guys to show him love as well. He's got his community on here, Doghouse Traders. If there's anybody from the Doghouse Traders community in the building, please feel free to let me know in the chat. I see Albuquerque, New Mexico is in the building. You know, let me know what other cities do I have here on this call. Go ahead and drop your cities. This call should be pretty interesting. We got a good week ahead of us, I think. We're gonna, you know, try to, you know, there's a lot to go over, but, you know, try to take it slow at the same time. You know, I know Anthony, he's got a lot of positions he's looking at. I know I got a lot of positions I'm looking at. A couple of positions that I already took. So, you know, when it comes down to it, even me myself, you know, I'm peeping game with a lot of these currencies, and I'm seeing what's going on in the market, and I'm excited to let you guys know what's really going on. Because shoot, you know, we don't want you guys missing out on any of these profitable moves or taking any losses by mistake this week. And you guys already know, you know, anybody that I bring on this channel, anybody that I bring on this stream is always vetted, is always, you know, going to bring some value, is always going to bring some heat. So again, go ahead and drop those cities. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes before I get started. We got 8 of us on this call. I see Albuquerque, El Paso, Orlando, Yay area. Anthony, go ahead and check in one more time. Let them know where you're calling in from personally.
That'd be very helpful, and it'll gauge the chat out in a good way.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I see a couple people already caught a bag off of Naz, which is dope, which is lit. So again, I'll give it 1 more minute. Let me go ahead and send this link out a couple more times. Let's get this call to at least like 20 people before we get it started off. I'm also looking at this little Solana coin. I got a lot that I'm looking at. So, which is like another thing about me, like I gotta chill. Which is why I bring on like other educators on here, because, you know, I want you guys to also hear their mindset, hear their strategy, because, you know, I know I'm successful at what it is that I do, but I also have students that do, you know, things in the way that I do it, but also, like, you know, I have students that are younger than me, older than me, all different types of students, and that's where people fail to realize in trading, that there is truly a million ways to make $1 million. So, one more minute, and let's get everybody on this call. If you guys can go ahead and like this stream, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. It's completely free to do so and helps push this stream a lot farther. So one more minute, let's get Alright guys, we're getting started. Don't worry.
I still live in a memory. I still live in a memory. I still live in a memory.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running. That's why at Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Transferring credits into WGU was it was a great experience. I went to 6 or 7 other universities, and WGU just said, here, send it here, and we'll take care of it. It was seamless, and I knocked out almost 3 years worth of credits, and I did it in about 14 months.
Learn more.
All right, guys, we are going up. Let me just make sure. Let's get it. I see all of you guys in the chat. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys for tapping in with me tonight. I see Lucy, Fala, Pedro, Orlando, El Paso. Shout out Naz for today's trades. Yes, shout out to Naz. I definitely did catch a slight little bag off of Naz just now. Can't even lie to myself real quick. You know, but when it comes down to it, I want to make sure that you guys eat. I feel like these NASDAQ trades happen so fast that it's almost like not even fair to you guys, like how bad it is. like it's kind of just like, if you get in, you get in. And you know, I like the type of positions where it's like everybody can eat. Not saying everybody can eat every single time, because obviously that's not the case. But you know, when it comes down to it, I gotta put you guys in the best positions possible. And as you guys can see in the Profit Society community, I do have a special guest. I'm usually on here a little earlier, and you know, to be honest, I took a week or two off. Usually I really hate taking day off or time off or anything of that sort, but when it comes down to it, guys, you know, I had to go ahead and do that, because streaming is something where you do need to be at the desktop, especially for trading streams. And even if you really want to perform at the highest level that you really are looking to go for, I mean, you know, streaming is a must. Streaming is everything. I mean, all the top traders and influencers are doing it. So if you really want to get ahead and get that advantage over the rest, I mean, streaming is something that, you know, everybody's taking advantage of, so why not? Let me just double check here. So I see you guys in the chat box. One of the biggest things, if this is your first time on this stream, drop a 1 in the chat. If this is your second time, or you've been on here multiple times before, drop a 2 in the chat. Let me just see who I'm working with. A lot of times it is some of you guys that have been returning from us, but sometimes we do get a lot of new viewers that pop in here and there. My moderators are in the building. I see Mike. Yo, Mike, if you could shoot me another text one more time, man. It's been a minute since I've talked to you, and I got a new phone, so I don't think your contact transferred over, so I probably didn't save you again, bro, so that's my bad. I see my guy TJ is in the building. But again, you know, I'm not going to blabber your guys' ear off again. Like, one of my main focuses on these calls and on these streams is to just go over the fundamental outlook for the week, the Forex Factory news events that we may be looking at. You know, I also go over what are the pairs that I'm looking at. As you guys have seen in some of my past recent streams, I've had some major educators and mentors on this platform, kind of like words of wisdom style. You know, I never forget when you know, Words of Wisdom featured me on his podcast, you know, kind of just how that made me feel. And, you know, also the amount of connections and resources I kind of got after that was really dope. And, you know, for the young generation coming up in trading, especially since a lot of us on here have seen the dawn and times of trading. You know, my guy Falah said too, Mike Lang said too. A lot of you guys on my channel and on my stream are loyal traders, loyal subscribers for years now. You know what I'm saying? So you guys know, you know, we really do this, and, you know, we have real legitimate connections, and we're not over here looking just to make a quick buck, right? If we were just over here looking to make a quick buck, we would have made our money and kind of just dipped off already. You know, we do this consistently. We have multiple testimonials and results, and countless of people that come on here to show you guys the game as well. Like my man Lex Waves that was on here 2 weeks ago with us. And you know, I like to do solo streams only when I'm live trading, just so I don't really have any secondary opinions in my bias. And I think for the most part, you guys do the same as well. Even when you guys are on my live streams, you know, I know you guys pop in, but, you know, sometimes you guys take your own positions as well. And that's the type of things that I actually like to see, right? I don't want to create it where you guys are 100% dependent on me, but I like it when you guys are actually going ahead and taking real setups, real trades, whether it's from me or whether it's not, right? I see my guy Mehul in the chat, man. Shout out to you, man. You know, one of the first things I wanted to go over was the Forex Factory news. The Forex Factory news is like the number one thing that you need to look at. Right now we got 15 people on the stream. Shout out to all of you guys. Make sure you guys smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and join the notification gang. If you're not a part of the notification gang, you are sleeping, because I'll be honest, with streaming and doing live streams and, you know, sending out trades in this world of doing so, notifications are a must, and like urgency is a must. So whenever somebody is like not really responding to you or not really like being active, like, you know, that just goes to show, like, you know, their focus isn't there. You know, here at the Profit Society, here, you know, in our community, here, I know even in Anthony's community, you know, he's always active, right? Even if there's an event, even if there's something going on. My guy Meho said, where Anthony at? Yo, bro, I'm gonna also send you the link too, bro. I want you to hop on. Fuck. You usually never hop on my streams, but today he saw Anthony was on, and then he decided to hop on my stream. He's on the Zoom call. But, you know, to be honest, I wanted to just bring everybody together. Again, for Forex Factory, for news, Sunday we don't really have too much. It's gonna be the end of the month tomorrow, the 30th, so that means it's NFP week. We have ISM manufacturing PMI, which is expected to come out a little bit past forecasts. Basically what this means is a level diffusion index based on surveyed purchasing managers in the manufacturing industry. If it comes out greater than forecast, that would actually mean good for the dollar, better for the currency, Fed Chairman Powell also speaks at 9:30 a.m., so that's going to be interesting. The manufacturing PMI numbers and the JOLTS job opening numbers, pointing a little bit towards bullish dollar. I don't know if I'm going to want to full send this NFP. I had a great, past 2 weeks where it's I don't want to give a lot of that back to the markets. I've already kind of noticed myself, once I hit a nice little spike like that, you eventually start giving some of that back. If not all of it back, if you're not careful enough. So I'm being very, very careful. I'm being very, very vigilant. Even though you guys like to see I'm very, very risk on. I even started off the gates this week a little bit more risk on, but I learned, even off of a 5-minute spike here on USD CAD, right, I immediately got out at $100 loss, which is nothing. Same with oil, literally cut short a loss on oil for $100, $200 or so. And then if I was actually a little bit more risk adverse, I would be in this position. But I try to literally be so hard on risk on that sometimes it literally hurts you. So that's the name of the game, with trading. Sometimes you're so hard on risk on and it works, and sometimes it doesn't work, and that's the reality. As long as you're not net loss, and sometimes you are going to be down on your equity curve for a little bit whenever you're doing those type of things, but always just remember the type of game you're playing. Wednesday we have ADP non-farm employment change, forecasted to come out higher than previous, which actually is good for the dollar, which is crazy. We're having a lot of bullish dollar news coming into this week. We have ISM services PMI, surveyed purchasing manufacturers in the manufacturing industry. I know I'm going through this fast because I kind of want to not take up too much time. Again, a more bullish dollar, which is crazy. Unemployment rate coming out higher. Non-farm employment change. This is wild. Yeah. So then we have a bank holiday on Friday. So what is this? Non-farm employment change coming out on a Thursday. Let me just double check and verify that. Yeah, NFP on a Thursday this year. That's I don't know if that's accurate, but I think it is. Meho, check your Telegram. I sent you the Zoom link if you want to hop on. But yeah, it looks like we have the NFP on a Thursday. Non-farm employment change. Yeah, and it's actually expected to come out lower. So, what does that mean? That means that maybe we start off this week slightly bullish the dollar, slightly retrace, and then honestly, I don't even want to start off slightly bullish. If the long-term macro trend is already pointing towards bearish dollar, bullish EU, what are we doing kind of second guessing ourselves? I feel sometimes we second guess ourselves out of really, really good positions, and that's not what I'm gonna do. That's why whenever you guys see me doing the full margin stuff and those type of plays, it's not because I'm literally being stupid or anything. It's because I'm knowing my risk on these type of things, and I know what I'm risking to what my reward is. And if I do lose, then that's the game that I was playing. I can't be mad at anybody else but myself for playing that game. So that's just the type of things you have to understand when you're doing trading in general. So honestly, I have to go and renew this Zoom meeting because it's already been past almost an hour. So we have 15 people on the call. I got my guy Anthony on here. He's been waiting. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute him, give him the host. let you share your screen, bro, and talk your talk, introduce yourself. You know, I met my guy Anthony at a networking event here in Orlando, you know, which is why I've been doing a lot of events recently. You guys know I come from IML, the whole chairman scene, and I used to do a lot of events, and that's how I really built my network and my brand at the age of 16. So, you know, to be honest, guys, now that we're in a better space, a lot of you guys have been following me for a minute in that space. You know, Anthony is somebody that came up from the trading space and the prop firm space. If you guys are a prop firm trader, drop a 7 in the chat, because Anthony is gonna come on here and talk his talk. Let him know, let you guys know what prop firm he's using, what broker he's using. He's gonna drop it in the chat, the link to like sign up with him. Just know if you guys are signed up with him, you guys are also signed up with me and the Profit Society as well. So go ahead and show him love. Everybody go ahead and drop a 777 in the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and give Anthony, go ahead and turn on your camera. You know, turn on your mic. And I'm going to go ahead and put you on the full screen right here, so you can go ahead and talk your talk, bro.
Yo, what's good, bro? So, I'm gonna share the screen from Zoom.
Alright, bet. See if you could turn on your camera too, bro. If y'all can hear him, drop a 7 in the chat.
Yo. And Candy, I don't think you see me.
You're good. I can see you.
Alright, perfect, bro. So, yeah, bro. Everyone, go ahead and let me know how long y'all been trading for. That's very important to know as well. And what you guys are currently trading. That's very good to know also. So me currently, I'm trading GBPJPY. That's what I'm trading right now, bro. And I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. That way, you can check it out.
I may need to drop a new link. Yeah, I knew it. It literally just expired on me. And I was like pulling out my credit card trying to like process that payment too. Like, that's bullshit. Alright. Fuck, man. All these technical difficulties. Don't worry. They'll be back. Oh, there he is. Let me just check. Yeah, it works. Okay. It should work now. Hey man, Lex, if you're free, I'm gonna send you the link. We could have roundtable talks too, man. You know what I'm saying? But if you just want to watch, that's cool. I really was looking at fucking GU and EU, man. I don't have no signals tonight, bro. I'll be honest. Like, I took NASDAQ and, you know, it was just some bullshit. I took some profit and I should have held. But I don't care. As long as you take wins and you're not taking losses, that's all that matters. NASDAQ just keeps going up and up and up and up. And we got the NASDAQ guy on here. What's funny is this guy like put me onto futures and futures trading as a whole. And yeah, bro, sometimes, you know, when you're trading the NASDAQ and that shit just keeps going up and up, it's kind of just gets addicting too. But you know, I went over the fundamentals. I don't wanna like hog the mic for too long, so I'm gonna give it back to Meho. For you guys that don't know who this guy is, this guy is the one that like honestly introduced me to futures trading. He has his own platform as well where he teaches about trading. He also lives in Orlando, Florida. He's an engineer at heart, but now he builds his own company, which is dope. So a lot of traders, you know, get their money and buy moissanite diamond watches and start flexing on Instagram. But this guy is building real wealth. So let's just put it like that. Yo, Meho, come on here, bro. Talk your talk. Anthony was on the old link, and then we got a new link. So I'm just waiting to see when he comes back on. So, yeah, man. I can hear you. You're good. I'm going to make you host too, bro. So right now, so you could share your screen and talk what you want to talk about.
I'll go share my screen real quick. You see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sweet. So, when we're looking at the NASDAQ, of course I trade futures.
Introduce yourself real quick for anybody that doesn't know who you are, man.
Oh, yeah. So, a little bit about myself. So, I'm a aerospace mechanical engineer. I basically technically a rocket scientist. However, I switched from engineering full time to going into finance. I have a background on Wall Street. I worked at Goldman Sachs for about 2 years up in New York, and basically was on their trade desk for a little bit and the operations side a little bit as well. Got invited to the New York Stock Exchange last year or 2 years ago actually, just because of my trading taking off. Currently managing about, I don't know, $4 or $5 million in prop capital, about to launch a fund. So only trading futures, and I also roll my futures profits into options long term. But like Kyle mentioned, like trading and flashing Lambos and all that stuff is not my goal. My goal is building tech startups, which I am building already. So if you guys are in the sports sector and are interested in tech startups that are in the sports sector, I'm building one called Protosphere. That's the main passion. Trading is like funding all of that stuff, so I don't have to raise capital from VCs or private equity and give away equity from my company. Just have all the equity to myself and just run the play essentially. But yeah, futures is all I trade. NQ, ES, and then gold, oil, sometimes nat gas and platinum. I'm actually in a platinum trade right now. I'll kind of show you the platinum trade I'm in. So I got in on this entire consolidation on the weekly. So I got in about 2 weeks ago or so, roughly at the 1.1 break. I'm targeting 1.5 on platinum, and I'm long this entire thing. So we're in tight as soon as that consolidation broke, and I'm just targeting 1.5. So we're pretty much there. We have a little bit more to go. We're at 1,440 was kind of the high that I saw. Yes, sir. Yeah, so you can trade it on any futures broker. The one I trade on is I have two brokerages, live funded ones, which are one is with Tradeovate. The second one is with Interactive Brokers. They're both futures accounts that I can trade with. If you don't want a futures live account or deposit money into a live account, you can always go to a prop firm. Take Profit Trader is good. I love them the most. And then Apex is also not bad. Apex is pretty solid too. So they all allow you to trade these instruments. So you can trade it either with your own capital or you just go the prop route, which I do a bit of both. I have both. I can only hold, the only thing with prop firms in the future space compared to the Forex space is that you can't hold trades overnight. However, when you have your personal capital, which I have for my platinum, I'm holding this trade. I've been holding it for a few weeks now, almost a month, honestly. So I can only do this on personal capital. So if anyone tells you, hey, like I'm holding a platinum trade, but they're trading prop, like they're lying to you, because you're not allowed to do that. So that's just like one tidbit that matters the most. However, looking at like, I guess I'm going to look at Nasdaq this week the most. Of course, we're at all-time highs. I'll just kind of dive into a few of them. So like Nasdaq, ES have hit all-time highs. However, the Dow has not hit all-time highs. So there's definitely more room for the Dow to get from the 14,400s up to the 45,000s, and then break the all-time highs there. We had a massive spike on Goldman Sachs last week, which is a big piece of the Dow. Where is it at? Yeah, Goldman Sachs is basically all-time highs. That entire week of last week, it just massively pumped to the moon. Closing on the 700 mark, I think we can hit 700s very like this week and probably go even further and squeeze more. But that was a big mover in the Nasdaq in the Dow Jones last week. So watching that to kind of go higher and push the Dow with it. If the Dow goes higher, of course, that's going to follow through on the S&P, and S&P has about 80% of the Nasdaq, so the Nasdaq will kind of follow suit with that. But I mean, some levels, I would probably look to target the 23,000s, honestly. I think we can get to the 23,000s, especially with NFP news coming through. The high of last week Friday is essentially at like the 820 mark. And then the low was basically 605. So it's almost a 200-point swing that we had. One good indicator of the bullish momentum that we're having was that even after this sell of 200 points, we rallied within the last hour, or I would say, yeah, hour, back up another 150 points. So that sell-off was basically some people taking some profits towards the end of the month. However, they bought it right back up and even broken the highs. So it was just almost a pullback for them to reload the gun and keep shooting higher. I don't see this thing stopping anytime soon. Probably once we tag this quarter and we see the Dow hit the new all-time high was when we can probably see some slowdown in the market. A lot of the big tech names are also pushing higher. There's one I want to cover in particular, which is Tesla, because Tesla's daily chart is looking very, very nice for a bullish move. I like this a lot. Like if I'm going to go long on this on options, I'm definitely like looking to go long almost immediately. I wouldn't mind risking like down to the 310 level and just literally targeting back up to the 360s and even higher. Like I think this is very well set up for a nice long position. And if this goes long, you know for a fact Nasdaq is going to follow suit, because yeah. So like, what about options? I guess that you kind of. Yeah, so essentially, I mean, on options is you have the right or the obligation to buy 100 shares of a particular company at the expiration date of a options contract. So an options contract basically is a time-bound contract that you can have daily options contracts, weekly, monthly, yearly contracts that basically expire at a certain given date. So if you want to go long Tesla, for example, you can buy Tesla calls, which are basically long contracts on Tesla. You can say that you want to buy them at this level and you want to try buy the strike price of 360 or 370. That's basically you saying that, hey, from now until next week, I think that Tesla can get up to this level, and if it does get up to this level, you get rewarded. And even if it doesn't get up to this level, as long as it gets in the same direction as you're on, you can make some money on the way up. So they are basically almost the same as trading the spot price. However, it's basically leveraged. It's just a leverage tool similar to futures. It's just another leverage tool. And if you don't exercise your options contract by the end of next week or whichever date you choose, you can buy those shares at the cheaper price that you were trying to get it at. So for example, if you buy an options contract at 330, you're trying to assume that Tesla will go up to 330s. If Tesla for some reason is up at $370 by the end of next week, instead of you buying 100 shares at $370, you can actually get them at a discount at 330 because you bought that options contract that locks you into that price early on. So if you think about this long term, right? If you're like, hey, I think Tesla will probably get it, like probably will be at $500 by the end of next year. If you buy a contract that is at 340s or 350s or 360s and Tesla gets all the way up to 500s, next year when it comes to exercising the option and buying those 100 shares of Tesla, you don't have to pay $500. You just have to pay whatever strike price you bought it at, essentially. If you don't want to buy those shares, you don't have to buy those shares. You can just take whatever profit you've made on it, on the contract, and then just run the play again, essentially. That's in a nutshell. There's a lot more to it, but it's kind of what it is in a nutshell.
That's why he chooses Granger for professional grade products and next day delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call, click, or just stop
But
by.
yeah, so
For the ones who get it done.
I don't think I can see like the YouTube. Let me pull up the YouTube. There's people are asking questions in there or something. Put up my phone. Okay, there's 21 people on, but like, how do I see the chat? Okay, yeah, I see it. Yeah, someone's saying I see the same approach with U30. U30 is the Dow Jones. It's the same thing. Like I have it here, of course, like US 30. I have NAS 100. I have SPX 500. They're all the same thing. It's just either are you trading SPY, which is the option side of things, or the equity side of things? Are you SPX 500, which is the indices, which is the Forex side of things that most people, that you guys are used to? Or are you trading futures, right? Which is the ES or MES, the micro or the mini contracts. That's on the future side. They're all the same shit at the end of the day. It's just which one are you trading and what platform are you trading on? If you're trading on Hanko or you're trading on TradeLocker or all like MT5, you're trading Forex or you're trading indices. If you're trading on regulated brokers like Tradeovate, Interactive Brokers, TD Ameritrade, you're trading futures or stocks and equities. They're all the same thing. It doesn't matter. They all move typically the same way. Okay, so back to, yeah, NASDAQ is still flying. Yeah, I'm looking at if we can get a pullback roughly to the 750 area and then go higher. Honestly, I mean, even if you get a pullback to 819s or 820s, I wouldn't mind going long on it. But ideally, I would want something back down here. We opened literally at the quarter, the 750 quarter point, and then just ran straight back up. So we'll see tomorrow. I don't really trade Asia or anything like that. I just be trading New York. It's a lot. It's very complicated. It's like, in a nutshell, I'll kind of explain it in a nutshell. There's a lot of math behind it and a lot of rationale and reasoning behind it. But essentially, if I go to like the hourly time frame, you can notice that the quarter points are basically every 250 on the Nasdaq. So basically 21,500s, 2750s, 22,000, that's a major quarter point, 250s, 500s, and so on and so forth. You can see where price gravitates, and price always trades from quarter point to quarter point. Multitude of reasons why it does that. And for example, just look at this day, right? You can see price literally came down to the quarter, the 21,750s, rallied straight back up to the 22,000 major, rejected, came straight back down, tagged it on the 1 hour. So you get a sniper entry in like the 5 or 1 minute and run that shit back up all the way back to the main major quarter point there. You can see as you get above the major, it consolidates and runs straight through, and it's very, very liquid, going from one quarter to the next quarter. Around the quarter, it gets very choppy, and that's kind of where we see consolidation happen. It's either gonna accumulate and then distribute this way, or accumulate and distribute the other way. But you always want to try and get your entries around the quarter point. I have a whole, I base my trading off quarter point. So I be catching like $200-300 200-300 point moves on the Nasdaq, and I'm only risking maybe 30, 40, 50 points max. So it's roughly like 1-to-5 risk to reward ratio, but like you're catching big moves. And for example, if you catch a 250 point move on the Nasdaq, and that's 20 points per move, that's about $5 per contract. And if I'm trading like 2-3 contracts, 15 grand per trade, that's not too bad. Which can happen in this case. Like it basically dropped from here to here, 200 points in about 3 hours. So that's not too bad. This thing's still mooning though, but. Yeah, bro, like honestly, if you get Tesla options, you'll be set. Like Tesla is solid. Nvidia is already at all-time highs. Apple, I like Apple too, because Apple's consolidating. It's got a lot more room higher. So if you compare Apple, right, compared to Nvidia, which is already at all-time highs, Tesla still got a long way to go up. Amazon already pushing higher. Like that's a very bullish candle on that one. Broadcom already all-time highs. Google, a long way to go up with a massive gap on the upside. So these stocks have a long way to go up. Meta is about to hit all-time highs, which can happen this week. And if the big tech is literally hovering very close to all-time highs, or like Microsoft 3 of the big 7 are at all-time highs, what do you think the other 4 are going to do? Probably get to all-time highs. And if that does happen, where's the Nasdaq going to go? Probably even higher. So that's just what I'm seeing. I trade my options on my Roth account, so it's tax-free. I don't pay any taxes on my capital gains. So in my Fidelity account, yeah. So any short-term capital gains tax or long-term capital gains tax, it's just traded straight in my Roth. I mean, of course, I cannot pull that money out until I'm 65, but I don't really care for that money. It's just like a nesting egg for me. If I build that up to like 6-7 mil by the time I'm 65, like I probably won't need it by then. The 6-7 mil, I'll have way more than that, but it's just there to have. I'm doing it for my parents and helping them out. So they're close to that 65-year mark. So all the options trading I'm doing for them and helping them grow their accounts is in their Roth account. So they're probably like 14 years away from 65. So they're in like late 50s or around there, 10 years away. if I grow their account to like a mil or so, they can retire, pull that mil out for tax free, like literally no taxes on that stuff, and they'll have a mil liquid. So it's setting themselves up like well. Yeah, bro, you gotta work the system. We're too young to care for that. I'm still already building mine out because I have the excess cash flow coming in for it. So I'm like, there's no need for me to trade it now. I don't need the money now. I can make that in futures. I need it long term. Maybe I need to, I don't know what I want to do at 65, like, I don't know, buy a plane or something. But I could do that then. Tax free too. AMD's flying too. But yeah, you can buy this anywhere. You can buy it on Robinhood, you can buy it on Fidelity, you can buy it on TD Ameritrade. I honestly would not recommend you buying stocks on a Forex broker, like, because you technically don't own the stock. They don't own the stock themselves. And especially if they're unregulated, they definitely do not own anything. Um, you can make money from it, don't get me wrong, but you want to own the physical asset, which you can pull loans on, right? So for example, if you want to actually play the smart game, right? My Roth account, if I grow that thing to $1 million, I can take a loan against that because it's an asset, right? That I have that banks can lend me money against and use as collateral. So if I want to get a loan for my business and scale my business at a low interest, I can literally just put that as collateral and say like, hey, I have $1 million in my Roth account. If shit hits the fan with my business, I can pay you back with my Roth account. Like that's not an issue because I can't touch that, nor can I withdraw that. So they know that, hey, like this dude is basically locked in. We can give him a very, very low interest rate on whatever loan he wants to expand his business because he has this cash pile in an area where he cannot pull it out. It's like having a house, right? You can sell your house, but it's going to take a lot of more time. It's also a physical asset. It's like a building that the bank can take over, or if you default on payments. So it acts the same versus if you keep the $1 million in like a regular checkings account, you can just wire that to someone else and it's gone. Then the bank's like, well, shit, I can't really give you a loan based off your checking account or your savings account. I can, but I'll give you a higher interest rate than me giving you a loan on your Roth account because I know you can't pull that shit out. And if you do, you're gonna get like whatever penalization of like 10-20% on that plus the taxes on that. So you probably mentally won't do that because then you would owe me, the bank, and you would owe the IRS on taxes. So that's the play. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you could always set up an LLC out there in Puerto Rico. Not just Puerto Rico. So now there's Missouri. Missouri is now also letting you um not pay capital gains tax. Texas is about to pass that new law that you don't have to pay capital gains tax if you're in Texas. So I'm going to consider by the end of this year to either incorporate back in either Puerto Rico, Missouri, or depends when Texas comes. If Texas comes, I'll go there tomorrow and incorporate. But Puerto Rico right now is definitely the best. Obviously, if you go out of the US, it's way better too. But Dubai is probably way better than anywhere else for capital gains and whatnot. All the big dogs you see, like if you think there's big traders in Miami or big traders in like New York or California, you're wrong. The biggest of big retail traders are in Puerto Rico. Like, and I'm saying big as a big, I'm saying like people that have $50 million accounts, like liquid, like actual cash, not prop firm Fugazi, actual cash, $50 million accounts. They're sitting in Puerto Rico in Dorado Beach and they're moving them like they're moving size. All these other guys in Miami and in New York and California, go ask anyone if they have a $50 million trading account. Just trading account, not like net worth one trading account. That's different. Those guys have it, and that's why they're moving there. And you'll see a lot of
majority of the big players that are trading or traders are in Puerto Rico. That's not a lot of wealth, to be honest. Like 50 million bucks is nothing. Like in the grand scheme of things, right? You're talking about a $1 trillion company. You're talking about billions of dollars taking place and moving hands. 50 million bucks is like not going to move. Like Jeff Bezos spent that on his wedding last week. Like he's not moving there. He's not moving to Puerto Rico. He has to do business in the US, and the best place for him is Miami because he's got a tech company and a tech startup, and the hub of billions and trillions of dollars is on mainland US. No, he don't give a shit about 50 million bucks. He spent that. You literally saw on the news headlines. He spent that last week on a wedding. Um, put that into perspective. Like 50 million bucks seems like a lot to us, but to him, it's as if you were making a $60,000 salary and you were spending roughly about $100 on your wedding. That's the comparison of his net worth to what he spent on his wedding. So 60,000 bucks. Would you spend $100 on your wedding? Probably. Would you feel that? Probably not. So yeah, the game's changed big time. Especially when you're moving from institutional to retail. I was an institutional and I saw that stuff out there, but the retail side is not seeing what I was able to see. No, they block all your accounts. You're not allowed to trade when you're inside and out, bro. I knew when stuff was going on. Like they were having meeting. For example, they would have a meeting with Apple one day, like before Apple would go on the big stage and make a big announcement. Like, hey, so when I was there, I'll give you an example, a live example, and you can go research this and see when it actually happened because it did. The Apple credit card. What's up? That's fine. That's fine. I mean, the Apple credit card, right? The Apple credit card got released in conjunction with Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs was the backing of the Apple credit card. While I was there, all of that was happening. I was working on the back end of that stuff. I was not able to trade Apple. I was not able to disclose what was going on at that time, and I knew everything that was going on. So imagine the amount of power you have. Like, hey, Goldman Sachs and Apple have teamed up to launch a credit card. If you go back in time and see what happened when Apple released that news announcement, what happened to Apple's stock? If an insider at Goldman was on that team or that project and they were like, I've already been working on this for 2-3 months. I know the announcement's going to happen like in 2 weeks. What if I just buy a shitload of Apple calls or a shitload of Apple stock? That's insider trading because they knew that. And that's why Goldman does not allow anyone to trade. And they actually track your accounts. Like I have to give them my logins, I have to give them everything, and they physically track my accounts. Not only my accounts, they track my family members' accounts too. So you have to provide your family members' details, like anyone in your close family of like, hey, this is what's happening. And if you even tell friends and everyone of what is going on the inside, before a news release happens, like I can talk about it now because the Apple Card is old as shit. Everyone's got an Apple Card, powered by Goldman Sachs. So I can talk about it now. But if I said it back then, like you get flagged and you get cut. Not only that, you could also go to jail because that's called insider trading. But that's why they don't let you trade your own stuff when you're there. If you want to trade, like for example, if I wanted to trade Apple stock, I would have to file, like physically file and be like, hey guys, compliance team, I need to buy 100 shares of Apple, and I'm planning to buy that at this price. By the time the compliance team approves of everything, Apple could be trading like $5 higher, and you'll get executed at $5 higher. You're not going to get it price that you wanted to get in on because by the time it goes through compliance and risk and all that stuff, you get executed at whatever the hell the price is, and you just have to be okay with it. So, but yeah, that's about it. I mean, I think I don't know if I stopped sharing my screen. I must be still sharing it, but that's about. I mean, on the charts, I mean, looking to go long on it and try buying Tesla or Apple, for them to go all-time highs. Google is looking strong as well. Yeah, you can send my IG in the thing there if they want to follow an IG or whatever. Okay.
They were
Talk to you later, bro. All right, later, bro.
Oh, my bad. I was muted. But like I was saying, guys, honestly, we took some fire trade setups over the past 2 weeks on EU, GU, UCAD, NASDAQ, where it's like, I don't really want to force anything. I feel like when I start forcing shit and I start really like pressing the issue is when I start losing. So I don't really want to go out there and do those type of things. I hope you guys understand that. This is not the week where we just ape into shit. Last week, we aped into shit and it worked. Dollar went down right away. EU went up, GU went up, UCAD went up. That's still the long-term bias. We still want to see the dollar continue to go down. We still want to see EU, GU, stocks, crypto, options, Tesla, Bitcoin, gold, silver, platinum, oil, all these assets to remain bullish and the dollar to remain bearish. But there's got to be a pause at some point. You know, we've got some major news beginning of the week coming in to give us a little bit of that bullish retracement. But over on the grand scheme of things, with the NFP coming out on Friday, my guy Meho was talking about full margin. I mean, the bias is there. Whatever we set up to around then on Friday, I can't really tell you. But what I can say is, focus on the long-term direction of things leading up to NFP, and don't get caught up in the noise early week. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I advise each and every single one of you guys to do. There's going to be a lot of noise early on this week. There's going to be a lot of noise here on Sunday. There's going to be a lot of noise on Monday. There's going to be a lot of noise on Tuesday. There's going to be a lot of noise on Wednesday. Maybe up until Thursday. There's going to be a lot of noise. But you guys got to really keep your composure and your risk management this week. I can already tell some people are already starting to lose money, and when it comes down to it, it's just part of the game with this type of consolidation that we're in right now here at market open. So kind of just wait it out, wait for a breakout. Don't really don't really force the issue too hard. But with that being said, I got a lot of cool partnerships. I got a lot of cool education and resources for you guys. So stay following the Profit Society. Go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. I want to see each and every single one of you guys before you leave the stream. So smash that like button and smash that subscribe button, because it really does mean a lot to our stream. Also, the link is in the description of this video for the Henko Trade broker. This is the best Forex broker that I've been using personally. There's a lot of Forex brokers out there, and quite honestly, you can use any Forex broker out there. You could use any futures broker out there. But since I'm utilizing this broker and we have a direct access to the owner, our withdrawals are fast, our deposits are fast, our trades are taken at a very good rate, and we also have direct support. So why not trade on somewhere where your homie owns it and you have a direct support? So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to Henko one last time. In order to be a part of our exclusive community, you actually do have to be funded up with a live account on Henko Trade. Right, regardless of whatever stock accounts and whatever futures accounts, options accounts you guys have, I'll be honest, I started off in the Forex space. I started off in the high leverage Forex currency market. So I'd be a fool not to put you guys in this direction to start off. But I'd also be a fool not to advise you about the further education about the futures market, the stock market, and everything that there is to go inside of it. So Profit Society here, we're out. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys for tapping in with me on this stream. For the most part, don't really try to also predict the market too much, right? Or you guys remember there's a saying by Mark Douglas. The market is all just a combination of different wins and losses added up on a random scale. So you might be, second guessing to yourself, worrying and asking yourself, like, damn, what's going on? My wins and losses, even like this loss right over here on oil. I took a small little loss to then now wake up and see that my take profit is damn near smashed. Even on GJ, I was in buys earlier, and I was thinking about getting in buys today just to kind of like, and I was realizing to myself, like, I don't have to force the issue. I don't have to, play by anybody's thought process or anybody's comparison. All I gotta do is focus on my P&L and my P&L only, and I will win. You will truly win just focusing on your P&L and your P&L only. So I'm gonna leave you guys off with that. Focus on your P&L and your P&L only. By you focusing on other people's P&L and pressing the issue and taking other people's trades and being like really, really antsy, you might make a little bit of profit to start off, but if you really don't know what it is that you're doing and why you're taking that trade and if it's a good trade or a bad trade, when it comes down to it, man, I'd rather lose on my own setup knowing that I actually put some work into it, where it's like I'm just taking a handout and I lost on that. That hurts even more. It's better to take a loss on your own thing. If you take a loss on somebody else's thing, you're going to be even more pissed. Even if you take a win on somebody else's thing, it's not even going to hit the same because it was still a signal. Right? When you take a win off your own setup, off your own analysis, but you also have other people in it, that right there is a different type of confidence. That right there is a different type of just thought process. So you wait for breakouts out of a consolidation. Yeah, bro, that's a big part of my strategy with Wyckoff. Wyckoff, I don't only wait for breakouts out of a consolidation. When it comes down to it, bro, I look for continuations over reversals. So the dollar itself, the DXY, I'm looking for continuations of a major long-term downwards trend. But I also understand market structure. I understand that long-term we're in a downwards macro trend towards the downside. But I also understand that whenever the market creates a downtrend, it creates a series of lower lows and lower highs. So we've created a lower high over here to then create a new lower low, then a new lower high, then a new lower low, then a new lower high, then a new lower low, then a new lower high, and then now we just created a new lower low. So as soon as we create a new lower low, majority of the times it actually comes back to retrace and give us another new lower high to potentially give us another new lower low. When it comes down to it, guys, the market can easily just continue. The market easily does not have to retrace and can easily just break down from where we're at right now and just continue pushing. But when it comes down to it, since we just made another low, I want to see the market retrace a little bit. I'm not hoping for a retracement. I'm not begging for a retracement. I'm not even going to play the retracement. Just the fact that we haven't broke through this low, and it's been twice that we've came back to that same region, and we did not break and close below. On top of that, since I see that we've created a new low, and this daily candle started off and actually begun as a bearish candle, I kind of want to see how the daily candle closes. And since we did start off as a bearish candle, there is a possibility that it does close bearish. That it does close bullish. If it started off bearish, there's a possibility we get a small bullish close. And after we see a small bullish close, again, we're still in downtrend territory, so I'm still going to be playing sells regardless. I'm still going to be looking towards the downside regardless. But I would never want to just ape into a sell on the dollar without seeing a clear confirmation. And we had a little reaction here at the Asian session at the new market open. But to be honest, seeing that we've touched the region multiple times and we're not creating a new low, also I'm looking at the Forex factor and we're getting a lot of bullish dollar news, Tuesday and Wednesday. My best bet is that since we created a new low here on the 4 hours, to not just ape into more sells, but ultimately wait for that bullish dollar news to come in and have the market retrace up a little bit more, which means, we might see reversals on things like gold, which means we might see reversals on things like NASDAQ, which might not be an ultimate reversal, but just a retracement on the long term, scale, just to continue in its long term direction. So that's what I'm seeing here. Gold, to be honest, starting to bottom out. So I'm going to give it its props here that, you know, we are still kind of technically bullish until we're bearish. And I don't see us being bearish here. I mean, same with NAS. Like, we're bullish until we're bearish. We're not bearish yet. Same with gold. I don't think we're bearish yet. I think we're just in a retracement territory. We're definitely not bearish gold. Definitely not bearish NAS or GU. So it's just like, what are we bearish? Like, maybe things like UCAD. You know, right now GJ's having a little run towards the downside. So even oil, things like oil, right? I want to talk about oil. I'm kind of mad about oil because I set my stop loss a little too far, a little bit too close up, and now oil is like printing. And that right there is a prime example of, like, you know, don't like over risk yourself or try to over leverage yourself like onto a setup, no matter how good it is. I mean, I knew oil was going up, and you know, what did I do? I literally over leveraged, and I got knocked out at a small stop loss, and it didn't blow my account. I didn't lose too much, but it's just a principle, right? I had the best trade set up. I could have had the opportunity to re-enter it, but I had a little bit too much risk on the table, which is okay, right? Which is okay, which gives me that reality check that I need going into NFP week, which is sometimes good, right? Make sure you don't get too ahead of yourself. So with that being said, I've actually been on here for a cool 2 hours. It's midnight. If you guys got some value from the stream, drop a 777 in the chat. I'm very tired. You know, sometimes I contemplate whether I should even hop on here because of like how much other things I could be doing with my time. But you know, I have a real energy for coming on here and doing this with you guys, and a lot of other mentors on here on this platform that do these brokers, that charge for courses, charge for mentorship, aren't doing the type of things that I'm doing and pulling the long nights, the late hours that I'm pulling, right? And I'll be honest, you're gonna see a lot of people really see the type of moves that I'm making and the type of income that I'm making and start to get shocked. But don't get shocked. Don't get shocked of the late nights, the early mornings that I've been putting in the past couple months. Don't be shocked about all the hardships that I've been through. Don't be shocked about, you know, all the people that, you know, didn't want me to make money unless it benefited them, right? Let's talk about that. And when it comes down to it, guys, it's hard being in this entrepreneurship space, right? It's hard. Don't let anybody online try to make it seem like it's easy. It's hard. It's extremely hard to do this type of stuff, right? It's not easy whatsoever. If they're making it sound easy, it's not easy, right? I'll be the first one to tell you that it took a lot of late nights, early mornings, losing sleep, losing family members, losing friends, losing a lot just for that uphill climb. And even my boy Mehu that's on here, man, like, he's somebody who could be considered a success in a lot of people's eyes, where it's like at that point in time, he could be himself wilding out, doing all these type of things, making these type of moves for money. But he's not, right? He knows his worth. He knows his value. He knows who he is as a person, and he knows the power of this market. So honestly, guys, I would appreciate if you guys do show some love to my channel with the like and the subscribe, and you guys do hop on the broker with my link, and you guys do join my course, because there was nobody supporting me, man. There was nobody supporting me on my way up. There was people saying that they were supporting me, but when it comes down to it, on the back burn, and when shit hits the fan, and you open up to certain people and you let them know about your hardships and you let them know about shit that's happened to you in your life, as soon as you get ahead of them even just a little bit, they're going to try to use that and hold that against you. They're going to try to use that to backfire against you. And you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, there was people a part of the Prophet Society a long time ago. Right now, it's just me a part of the Prophet. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. Right now, it's just me a part of the Prophet Society. As far as the company goes, the LLC, the back end, the Discords, the Telegram, the website, the domain, the business bank account. Right, I'm the only one paying for all of that stuff, and I'm the only one maintaining that, holding that together, and even thought about keeping it together. We started this movement, this channel, this stream, this whole idea of community, free community, teaching for free. We started this 2-3 years ago, and it just goes to show with time, as more money starts coming in, more eyes start coming in, more pride and ego starts coming in, more politics start coming in, more secondary opinions start coming in. And it's not immune to a trading business either. Even in other businesses like payment businesses, merchant processing businesses, you know, life insurance companies, right? You know, like just businesses, they have this type of shit that goes on, and people get taken advantage of. There are some business owners that lose money, that, you know, they say they're a business owner, but at the end of it all, when it's all said and done, 4 years down into the business, they lost what they put in and more. And my dad and my family was one where when they started a business, you know, something like that did happen to them at first. And, you know, I always look back and I think, and I learned my lesson where it's like, you know, make sure you're coming out of everything with a win. To be honest, I make sure that I'm coming out of everything that I do with a win. Make sure you guys come into Profit Society and leave with the win. Make sure you guys come on this stream and leave with the win, right? I would hate for you guys to be the type of person that's, you guys know about this, you guys know about these streams, you guys know about everything that's going on, but you're not leaving with the win. Even with the MLM companies, man, I try to at least leave with a win, right? I joined IML, I made sure that I joined, and I knew there was a movement going on. I made sure I won over there. And no matter if anything was going on, I had a win. There was other MLM companies that came around, and I tried them out. I tried to see what was going on. I tried to see everything that was going on with every single company and every single broker and every single prop firm in this industry. Every single, even crypto. You could ask me about it. I've tried it out. I've played around with it. I've messed around with it. And guess what? You see with time what is really for you and what's really not for you. You got somebody in the chat that's saying scam artist bum. And it's like, I've always been the type of person where I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't sugarcoat nothing. Nothing whatsoever. If it's something that's not legitimate, I'll be the first person to ditch the ship and move to something different. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people not built like that. A lot of people's not built like that. So you guys already know, whatever I'm pushing is 100% legitimate. You guys join my course, you're gonna get education. Not only just education, but not bullshit education. You're gonna learn Wyckoff. You're gonna learn smart money. Fuck these other guys, man. Honestly, like truthfully, a lot of these other guys are taking advantage of you with their courses, man. I bought so many different courses, and I made sure that the courses that I bought, even though I got value from them, there's some of them that I got a little bit of value from. I made sure it was even better than the ones that I got value from and I didn't get value from. So keep that in mind. For my price point of what I put for my course, I wish somebody had a course of this caliber when I started. But I didn't take it serious till I really had to take it serious. Same with the broker. There's so many different brokers I tried out in this industry, in this space. I came up off of certain brokers and made money, and there's some brokers where I didn't make money. And I didn't know these type of things later on. With prop firms, when you guys are trading with prop firms, right? I'll be honest. A lot of you guys make money, but you aren't making money long term. I already know that, because if you were making 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month with the prop firm, why aren't you on the prop firm leaderboards? That's a question that should be answered, right? Nobody is making consistent income with the prop firms. There's only a few people that I know that I could say that. I've made money from prop firms. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I have payouts to prove for it from Take Profit Trader. I have payouts to prove from it from Forex prop firms. I got payouts to prove for it for whatever, anything it is that I do. The MetaTrader 5 broker that I was promoting not too long ago, not too while back, I have the trades that I took on that account, and I got the withdrawals to prove for it. And I only deposited $300, $400 into that broker, and I withdrew over $3,000 from profits from a NASDAQ trade. So you tell me, I did the same thing on Henkel Trade, and I recorded it live on my Instagram. On my Instagram, KyleHustles, you could watch, and you could see where I took 3 standards on NASDAQ. 3 standards on NASDAQ, you could take that with as little as $1,000. And I swung that trade to the moon, to the fence. I could still be holding that trade of 15,000, but I took my 10,000 profit, and now I'm building up my account in a more conservative way, and I'm a not really be so pressured, and I'm not really gonna be so focused on making the money. And another thing is, I am building affiliate side of the business now. With Henkel Trade, you know, I'm starting to do that. With Hugo's Way, I was literally only depositing money from the job that I was working, making $50 a week at Publix. I still have other things going on now. Right now, I have way more things going on where I could deposit cash flow. But if you guys are looking for some cash flow, Henkel Trade has the best affiliate system. I don't know about you, but I find it weird that people aren't utilizing the affiliate system. People say that it's weird that some influencers promote the affiliate links because they want you to make money off of them and all this type of stuff. But I find it weird how we all trade on brokers. We all trade on all these different brokers, and we take wins and losses every single day. We take $100 wins, $200 wins, $300 wins, $500 wins, $500 loss, $1,000 win, $300 loss. We take all these different wins and losses, but who's getting paid off of every single trade that's being took, win or loss? Whether you sign up with my link, whether you sign up with this person's link, whether you don't sign up with anybody's link at all, whether you sign up to a prop firm and you say, you know what, I don't want to deal with none of this mess, I just want to sign up to a prop firm and I just want to get my payouts, my $1,500, my $3,000 a month from that prop firm, from whatever you trade, Top Step, Take Profit, Funding Pips, you know, 3%, 2%, 2,000-3,000. I just want to get my 2,000-3,000 and just get out the market. Well, guess what? In order to hit that profit target of 3,000, what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to take a lot of different trades where you make 500 and then lose 500 and then make 1,000 and then lose 200 and then make 500 and then lose 100 and then make 200 and then lose 200 and then make 2,000 and then you hit the profit target. That's exactly how it happens. And guess what happens? Even if you were an affiliate for that prop firm, understand, the prop firm is getting paid out if somebody doesn't use your broker link or not. So why not use your friend's prop firm link? Why not use your friend's broker link? The broker's going to make all the money anyways. And on top of that, if you're trading prop firms, you only get paid out, and your person only gets paid out affiliate commission only when they buy the challenge, only when they fund the account. Imagine if you were getting paid off of every little win or loss, every single trade, no matter what. Even last week, I had a profitable week where I made over $9,000 in one single trade. It was actually floating over $12,000 at one point. And that was a profitable week where I was able to earn over $10,000 from trades, but also over $5,000 in commissions from the difference of wins and losses in between that journey. And guess what? All of my students were profitable as well from NASDAQ. So think about that. A lot of people think with these brokers you gotta lose money, and somebody has to make money in order for you to lose money. That's not true. Because in this specific circumstance last week where we were profitable, we actually made money off the market and made money off the back end fees. So technically right there, the broker kind of lost money on us right there. But that's okay. As long as you're trading with a reliable broker that's been around for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, like Henkel Trade has, you're not going to have to worry about your money not hitting your account. That's what you guys have to understand. But again, always do your own research, and this is not financial advice whatsoever. I have a selection of different brokers that you guys can choose from, and the link is in the description of this video. It's the Hubi link, and it's also the link in my bio where you guys have different options. We gave you guys multiple different options on this call, and you guys have options as to what Forex brokers to choose, but even also in the futures route. So do not take this information lightly. Be active inside of the Profit Society Telegram chat. Join the premium community. As you guys can see, I'm getting way more tactical, and I'm moving way more strict with everything it is that I do, especially at the level that I'm moving at. Even though I had a lot of community in the Discord channel, I have moved over majority of my stuff and resources to Telegram. My entire free Profit Society community has pretty much all been shifted to Telegram. My whole premium community has been all shifted towards Telegram. Everything it is that I've been doing have been using Telegram. I do still love the Discord feature, and I do still love Discord a lot, because I have a big community there already. And maybe some of you guys here are coming from the Discord. If you're coming from the Discord, join the Telegram. Do me a favor, join the Telegram. I'm going to just go ahead and drop the link in the video. And, I don't want to see you guys getting left behind. I did also drop a message in my Telegram where it's like, I don't really need anybody. TJR trades, a lot of these like big traders, like they don't need people. I think that's like an MLM thing where it's like we feel like we need people to get to the levels that we need to get to, and I don't think that's the case. We need the right trades, the right place, the right people. Not just the right people, but also the right mentality, and we will go far. So with that being said, go ahead and drop a 777 in the chat if you guys got some value from this stream. Honestly, it was a really, really last minute stream. I didn't even announce that I was doing a stream all day today. This was literally just a pop-up stream, and there was already like 25 of you guys active with me, and we have 15 of you guys still on here. Anthony only popped in for about 5 to 10 minutes, and he had some other work to do. Meho popped in. We had Lex Waves even popping in, just being a student today. So with that being said, please, 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 take a screenshot of this. Take a picture of this. Shout me out on Instagram. Tag KyleHustles. Tag Profit Society. help me blow this up. I'm going to be doing a lot of major events. I'm going to be investing back, doing a lot to the community, and make it worth it for me as well, man. Like, I'll be honest, I could literally just take my money and run, which is what a lot of people do when they start making money. And it is what it is. And when it comes down to it, I'm not that type of person. If I ever am inactive or not really answering or whatever, it's because I'm going through something. Right now my parents are in New York, and I had the option. Maybe some of you guys are on the stream already know. My parents invited me to New York. I was supposed to be in New York this weekend with my cousin and my entire family for his engagement. I completely missed that. Right? I remember on my grind and on my journey to $10,000 a month, there was a lot of family events and family meetups I missed. And, it really does make me sad, man, because it's damn, I miss a lot of important family things just for something that, didn't really last. And this time I don't really want to let that happen. I'm missing family events. I'm missing out on a lot of different things to make this shit pop. But I want it to be something that's last, right? I want it to be something where it's we can continue printing like this week in and week out, month in and month out, and not have to worry about shit, right? That's what I want you guys to understand, man. So, AR Bets, whoever that was in the chat, I hope you DM me privately or talk to me just so I can know who you are, because all 15 of you guys on this stream already know what's up. So with that being said, appreciate all you guys for going ahead and dropping the 7s in the chat. That does mean a lot. And that's it. I'll see you guys at the top or from the top. It's the bottom is way too crowded. Peace out, guys.
And help keep work on track, so every team can work smarter and faster. Asana, the #1 AI work management platform. Try for free today at asana.com.
Recently, my seasoning company, Kuso Cuts, we needed to rebrand our logos and fast. We turned to Upwork immediately and we were able to hire masters of their craft for incredible freelance work, which ultimately allowed us to make it on shelves just in time. Post a job for free at Upwork.com.
On Fiverr, you can find the perfect freelancer to build your website. But you probably already know a guy who knows a guy who has a cousin who has a neighbor who could do it. Well, we also know a guy, Vlad, a freelance web developer with tons of reviews like this. We also know Kate, Carla, Shannon, and Greg, who are experts in WordPress, Shopify, React, and AI development. Find freelancers in a variety of services and build your website today. Fiverr.
With Squarespace, you can do more than just build a website. You can build a business. Personal trainers and private chefs, showcase your signature offerings and experiences. Makeup artists and music teachers, schedule classes and appointments with ease. And then, send weekly newsletters to keep in touch with your loyal customers. Done. Squarespace makes offering your services simple. Get started with offer code MAKEITREAL for 10% off your website or domain.
Let's run away. Pack your things and let's get away. Today's your day. Don't be afraid to get crazy. You'll see anything you wanna see. You can be anything you wanna be. Waiting for the weekend when all my dreams come true. I don't care what we do as long as I'm with you. Waiting for the weekend, waiting to be with you, so we can party like it's never gonna end. Let's run away. Pack your things and let's get away. Today's your day. It's all going up from here. Let go of all your fears. It's all going up from here. It's all going up from here. Waiting for the weekend when all our dreams come true. I don't care what we do as long as I'm with you. Waiting for the weekend, waiting to be with you, so we can party like it's never gonna end.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Traces of broken shadows. I am lost in the feelings that we've known. Try to save all the shattered pieces. Bring the distance back to reason. There's a resolution. There's a resolution. There's a resolution. There's a resolution. See your face in a million sunsets. All the moments that made all that we had. We can bring everything together. 'Cause we can't leave the good times severed. All the bright lights shine all around now. Gotta take this chance, gotta find out if we both can feel the illusions. There's a resolution. There's a resolution. There's a resolution.
Unlock a new world of efficiency with Asana. Automate workflows so your team can have less follow-up and more follow-through. Try for free today